I, 29F, have had a complicated relationship with my stepsister Chloe, 31F, ever since our parents got married when I was 15 and she was 17. Our families came together after both of our mothers passed away from cancer within a year of each other. My dad and her dad had met at a support group for widowers with children. They bonded over their shared experiences and eventually fell in love. At first, I was excited about the idea of having a big sister. I'd always been an only child and had often wished for a sibling. When our dads told us they were getting married, I imagined all the things Chloe and I could do together: shopping trips, late-night talks, sharing clothes, and giving each other advice about boys. However, Chloe didn't share my enthusiasm. From the day our parents announced their engagement, she made it clear that she wasn't interested in having a little sister. She was cold and dismissive towards me, often making snide comments about my appearance or interests. I remember the first time I tried to hang out in her room. I knocked on her door, holding a bowl of popcorn and some nail polish, hoping we could have a girls' night. Chloe opened the door, looked at me with disdain, and said, "I don't need a charity case for a sister. Go away." Despite her attitude, I kept trying to bond with her. I thought maybe she just needed time to warm up to the idea of our new family. I invited her to hang out, offered to help her with schoolwork, and even defended her when other kids at school were mean to her. There was this one time when I overheard some girls in the cafeteria making fun of Chloe's acne. I stood up for her, telling them to back off. Later, when I told Chloe about it, hoping she'd appreciate my support, she just rolled her eyes and said, "I don't need you fighting my battles. Stay out of my business." Things got worse when we both ended up attending the same college. I had always planned on going to State University because it had an excellent marketing program. Chloe had initially talked about going to an out-of-state school, but at the last minute, she decided to attend State University too. I was thrilled at first, thinking this might be our chance to finally become close. But Chloe seemed to view my presence as an intrusion. She spread rumors about me to her friends, telling them I was clingy and desperate for attention. She excluded me from social events, even when we had mutual friends. Once, I found out that she had told everyone at a party that I had a contagious skin condition, just to make sure I wouldn't be invited. But the worst was when she tried to sabotage my grades. We ended up in the same Marketing 101 class during our freshman year. Chloe told me the wrong date for a major project deadline, causing me to submit it late. I nearly failed the class because of that. When I confronted her, she just laughed and said, "Oops, my bad. You should really keep better track of your own assignments." After graduation, I was relieved to put some distance between us. I moved to a different city and landed a job at a prestigious marketing firm called Thompson & Brooks. For the first time in years, I felt like I could breathe without Chloe's negativity looming over me. We only saw each other at family gatherings, where we maintained a polite but distant relationship. I threw myself into my work, determined to build a successful career. I stayed late at the office, volunteered for challenging projects, and consistently exceeded my targets. My boss, Sarah, took notice of my hard work and started mentoring me. She told me I had real potential in the industry. Fast forward to last year. I had been working hard at Thompson & Brooks for 5 years and was up for a major promotion to senior marketing manager. It would have been a huge step forward in my career, with a significant pay raise and the chance to lead my own team. I had been preparing for months, putting together a comprehensive presentation of my achievements and future plans for the company. The week before the final decision was to be made, Thompson & Brooks hosted its annual charity gala. It was a big event, with clients, partners, and executives from other companies all in attendance. To my surprise, Chloe showed up as the date of one of our senior executives, Derek, 45M. I tried to avoid her, focusing on networking with potential clients instead. But she cornered me at the bar later in the evening. She was overly friendly, insisting we catch up. "Come on, sis," she said, ordering us both drinks. "We never talk anymore. Tell me all about what you've been up to." After a few drinks, she started asking probing questions about my work and the upcoming promotion. "So, what's this big project you're working on?" she asked. "It must be pretty important if you're up for a promotion." Naive me, thinking she was finally taking an interest in my life, shared some details about the new marketing campaign I was developing for our biggest client. The next day, I was called into a meeting with HR. They informed me that someone had reported me for sharing confidential company information at the gala. I was shocked and tried to explain that I had only spoken to my stepsister, but they said the report came from a senior executive. I realized with horror that Chloe must have told Derek about our conversation, twisting my words to make it seem like I was leaking sensitive information. I was put on probation and the promotion went to someone else. When I confronted Chloe about it, she feigned innocence, saying she had no idea what I was talking about. But the smug look on her face told me everything I needed to know. "Maybe you should be more careful about what you say at company events," she said with a smirk. "You never know who might be listening." The next few months were incredibly difficult. I felt like I was walking on eggshells at work, worried that any mistake might lead to me losing my job entirely. My confidence was shaken, and I started second-guessing every decision I made. The colleague who got the promotion instead of me, Tom, was nice about it, but I couldn't help feeling resentful every time I saw him leading meetings or presenting to clients. Now, 6 months later, Chloe is engaged to Derek and has asked me to be one of her bridesmaids. She called me up out of the blue, acting as if nothing had ever happened between us. "I know we've had our differences," she said, "but I want us to start fresh. Being your bridesmaid would mean so much to me." I was stunned by her audacity. How could she possibly think I'd want to be part of her wedding after everything she'd done? But Chloe didn't wait for my response. She'd already told our parents about her wonderful idea, and they were thrilled. Mom called me right after, gushing about how this was finally our chance to be a real family. Dad chimed in, saying how proud he was that we were putting the past behind us. It was clear they had no idea about what had really happened at the gala or throughout our lives. I told Chloe and our parents that I won't be a bridesmaid. They're all upset with me, saying I'm being petty and ruining Chloe's special day. My dad even suggested I should be grateful to Chloe for introducing me to such important people in my industry. "This could be great for your career," he said, completely oblivious to the fact that Chloe had nearly ruined my career just months ago. Chloe has been playing the victim, telling everyone how hurt she is by my refusal. She's been posting on social media about the importance of family and forgiving past mistakes, clearly trying to make me look bad. I'm standing firm in my decision, but the constant pressure from family is starting to wear me down. Am I the asshole for refusing to be her bridesmaid? Should I just suck it up for the sake of family peace? Update 1. It's been about a month since my last post, and a lot has happened. First, I want to thank everyone for their supportive comments. You all gave me the courage to stand my ground. After my refusal to be a bridesmaid, things got tense in the family. Chloe started a smear campaign, telling everyone that I was jealous of her relationship with Derek and her upcoming wedding. She even went as far as to suggest that I had a crush on Derek and was upset that he chose her instead of me. It was ridiculous, but some family members actually believed her. Aunt Lisa, who had always favored Chloe, called me to express her disappointment. "I thought you were more mature than this," she said. "Chloe is extending an olive branch, and you're throwing it back in her face." I tried to explain my side of the story, but she wasn't interested in listening. Even my best friend from college, Emma, who knew about my history with Chloe, suggested that maybe I should reconsider. "It's just one day," she said. Maybe this is Chloe's way of trying to make amends. I felt like I was going crazy. Was I really the one in the wrong here? But then I remembered all the times Chloe had hurt me, all the opportunities she tried to take away from me. I decided it was time to set the record straight. I spent a whole weekend compiling evidence of Chloe's behavior over the years. I dug up old emails, text messages, and even some journal entries from high school. I wrote a detailed email to our parents, explaining everything that had happened between Chloe and me over the years, including the incident at the gala. I included screenshots of messages and emails that supported my side of the story. It was hard to write, bringing up a lot of painful memories, but I knew it needed to be done. To my surprise, my stepmom reached out to me privately the very next day. She revealed that she had always suspected Chloe wasn't being truthful about our relationship, but she never had concrete proof. She told me about times when she'd overheard Chloe making snide comments about me, or noticed how Chloe would suddenly change her behavior when adults were around. "I should have said something sooner," she admitted. "I was so focused on trying to make our blended family work that I ignored the signs. I'm so sorry, sweetie." She promised to talk to my dad and show him the evidence I'd sent. A few days later, my dad called. He was initially defensive, insisting that I must be exaggerating or misinterpreting things. "Chloe's always been a bit rough around the edges," he said, "but she's not malicious." But as we talked, and I shared more specific examples of Chloe's behavior, he began to understand the extent of what had been happening. By the end of the call, he was in tears. "I had no idea," he kept saying. "I've let you down so badly. I should have protected you." He admitted that he had been blind to Chloe's faults because he wanted so badly for us to be a happy blended family. He convinced himself that any issues between us were just normal sibling rivalry. As for Chloe, she didn't take the exposure of her actions well. When confronted by our parents, she threw a massive tantrum. She accused them of always loving me more, of never giving her a chance. "You're all ganging up on me," she yelled. "You're trying to ruin my life just like she is." She even threatened to cancel the wedding if they didn't force me to be a bridesmaid. "If she's not in the wedding, then none of you are invited," she declared. It was like watching a toddler throw a fit, except this toddler was a 31-year-old woman. Her reaction only served to prove my point. Our parents stood firm, telling her that she needed to apologize and make amends if she wanted their support for the wedding. Chloe stormed out, saying she didn't need any of us. The family is pretty divided now. Some relatives think I should have kept quiet for the sake of family harmony. Aunt Lisa called again, this time to berate me for airing our dirty laundry and tearing the family apart. Uncle Mike, on the other hand, reached out to apologize for all the times he dismissed my complaints about Chloe as sisterly squabbles. My cousins are split too. Cousin Rachel, who had always been close to Chloe, unfriended me on social media and sent me a nasty message about being a jealous, spiteful bitch. But cousin Tom, who apparently had his own issues with Chloe in the past, called to offer his support and share his own experiences. As for me, I'm feeling a mix of relief and anxiety. It's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders now that the truth is out, but I'm worried about the long-term consequences for our family. Will we ever be able to have a normal family gathering again? Or will every holiday from now on be tense and awkward? I'm also nervous about potential professional repercussions, given Chloe's relationship with Derek. Even though I know I didn't do anything wrong, I worry that this situation might somehow come back to bite me at work. What if Derek decides to retaliate on Chloe's behalf? I've started looking for new job opportunities, just in case. I'm determined not to let Chloe's actions define my career. It's scary to think about starting over somewhere new, especially after working so hard to build my reputation at Thompson & Brooks. But it's also exciting to think about what new opportunities might be out there. Through all of this, I've been leaning heavily on my friend Emma for support. She felt terrible for initially suggesting I go along with being a bridesmaid and has been making up for it by being an amazing listener and supporter. She's even been helping me update my resume and practice for potential job interviews. As stressful as this whole situation has been, I feel like I'm finally standing up for myself after years of letting Chloe walk all over me. It's empowering, but also terrifying. I know there will be more fallout to deal with, but for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm taking control of my own story. Update 2. It's been 2 months since my last update, and the situation has taken some unexpected turns. First, the professional fallout. About a week after my last post, I was called into a meeting with the CEO and head of HR at Thompson & Brooks. My heart was pounding as I walked in, sure I was about to be fired. Instead, they apologized to me. Apparently, Derek had come clean about the whole situation. He admitted that Chloe had manipulated him into reporting me, twisting my words and adding her own fabrications. He also confessed that he had been feeling guilty ever since, especially after learning more about Chloe's true nature. Derek explained that Chloe had told him I was intentionally leaking information to a competitor, hoping to sabotage a big deal. He realized the truth when he overheard Chloe bragging to a friend about how she had put me in my place. The company offered to reinstate me to my previous position and compensate me for the lost promotion opportunity. They even suggested creating a new position for me that would be a step above the promotion I had originally been up for. While I appreciated the gesture, I realized I no longer felt comfortable working there. Too much had happened. The idea of continuing to work alongside people who had doubted me, even if they now knew the truth, felt wrong. So, I negotiated a generous severance package instead. It was a difficult decision. I had invested 5 years of my life into Thompson & Brooks, and walking away felt like giving up. But I also knew that staying would mean always wondering if people were talking about me behind my back, always feeling like I had something to prove. On the family front, things have been chaotic. Chloe's wedding has been postponed indefinitely. It turns out that Derek broke off the engagement after discovering the extent of her manipulative behavior. This sent Chloe into a spiral. She showed up at our parents' house in the middle of the night, crying and demanding they take her side. When they refused, she started making threats. She said she would tell everyone that our dad had been abusive to her as a teenager if they didn't cut me off. It was a blatant lie, but she was desperate. Our parents were shocked but stood their ground. They told her she needed professional help and that they wouldn't enable her behavior anymore. Dad even said, "Chloe, I love you, but I won't let you hurt this family anymore. You need help, and we're here to support you in getting it, but we won't be manipulated." Chloe didn't take this well. She stormed out and we didn't hear from her for weeks. Then, last weekend, we got a call from the police. Chloe had been arrested for trying to break into Derek's apartment. She was clearly not in a good mental state. The police report said she was found outside Derek's building, screaming and throwing rocks at his window. When they tried to calm her down, she became combative and had to be restrained. It was a far cry from the polished, put-together image she had always tried to maintain. Our parents are devastated. They're trying to get Chloe into a rehabilitation program, but she's refusing any help. The whole situation has brought up a lot of questions about Chloe's past behavior and whether there were signs we all missed. Dad has been doing a lot of soul-searching. He's been looking back at incidents from our childhood, wondering if he should have intervened more. He told me about times when Chloe would have explosive tantrums as a child, or how she would manipulate situations to get her way. He had always chalked it up to normal childhood behavior, but now he's questioning everything. As for me, I'm focusing on moving forward. I've accepted a job offer at a smaller marketing firm in a different city. It's a lateral move in terms of position, but the company has a great reputation for fostering a positive work environment. I'll be moving next month. It's bittersweet. I'm excited for the fresh start, but sad that it took all of this for my family to finally see the truth. I'm also nervous about starting over in a new city. I've lived here since college, and the idea of leaving my friends and familiar places is daunting. I'm also going to start therapy to work through everything that's happened. I realize that Chloe's behavior has affected me more deeply than I wanted to admit. I find myself second-guessing my relationships, wondering if people really like me or if they're just pretending like Chloe did for so long. My friend Emma has been incredibly supportive through all of this. She's even offered to help me move and get settled in my new city. It's made me realize how important it is to have genuine, supportive people in your life. As for the extended family, things are still tense. Aunt Lisa still isn't speaking to me, but Uncle Mike and Cousin Tom have been checking in regularly. It's strange how this situation has both divided and united different parts of the family. I'm trying to stay positive and focus on the future, but it's hard not to feel a mix of anger and sadness about everything that's happened. I hope that with time and distance, I'll be able to heal and move on. Update 3. It's been 6 months since my last update, and I'm writing this from my new apartment in my new city. The move has been incredibly positive for me. My new job at undermined Innovations is challenging but rewarding, and I've made some great friends already. The company culture here is so different from Thompson & Brooks. There's a real emphasis on collaboration and work-life balance. My new boss, Alex, is supportive and always open to new ideas. I've already led a successful campaign for a local nonprofit, which has boosted my confidence tremendously. As for the family situation, things have settled into a new normal, though it's far from perfect. Chloe eventually agreed to enter a rehabilitation program after her arrest. She's been there for about 4 months now. Our parents visit her regularly and say she's making progress, but I've chosen to keep my distance. The therapist I've been seeing, Dr. Martinez, has helped me realize that I don't owe Chloe a relationship, even if she does get better. We've been working on setting healthy boundaries and processing the years of emotional manipulation I endured. Derek reached out to me to apologize again. He offered to help me find a new job, but I declined. I appreciated the gesture, but I wanted to succeed on my own merits. We ended the conversation on good terms, and I felt like I had finally gotten closure on that chapter of my life. My relationship with my parents has improved significantly. They've been making a real effort to support me and respect my boundaries. Dad and I have had some deep conversations about why he was so blind to Chloe's behavior for so long. It's been painful but healing. Mom, my stepmom, but I've started calling her mom now, has been amazing through all of this. She's been sending care packages to my new place and always checks in to see how I'm doing. We've actually grown closer through this whole ordeal. Some extended family members are still giving me the cold shoulder, believing I somehow caused all of this drama. Aunt Lisa still makes snide comments at family gatherings, but I've learned to let it roll off my back. The people who matter know the truth, and that's enough for me. I've started dating someone new, a kind and understanding guy named Jake, who I met at a local community garden. It's early days, but it feels good to be with someone who respects me and my experiences. He knows my whole story and has been incredibly supportive. My friend Emma visits regularly, and we've been exploring my new city together. Having her support has made the transition so much easier. I'm also making new friends here, joining a book club and a hiking group. Work is going well. I recently got praise for a presentation I gave to a big client. It reminded me of the promotion I lost back at Thompson & Brooks, but instead of feeling bitter, I felt proud of how far I've come. Looking back, I can hardly believe how much has changed in a year. While I wouldn't wish this experience on anyone, I'm grateful for the growth and self-discovery it has led to. I'm excited to see what the future holds, and for the first time in a long time, I feel truly free from Chloe's shadow. I know there may still be challenges ahead, especially as Chloe completes her rehabilitation program. But I feel equipped to handle whatever comes my way. I'm no longer the person who let herself be manipulated and pushed around. I'm stronger now, and I know my worth.